Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Welcome to District of Raga. My name is Nishna and I'm the founder. Launched in 2017, District of Raga is a volunteer-run organization focused on presenting traditional and non-traditional Indian classical music by creating a platform for artists and audiences to connect. We are excited to be presenting a series of live stream events supported by the Kennedy Center Culture Caucus. Please follow us or sign up for our newsletter to know about our upcoming events. Today, we are joined by vocalist Rohith Jayaraman and violinist Layth Sidiq, both extremely accomplished musicians. They will be presenting songs from their album Hamsa, which is a documentation of a musical friendship that transcends boundaries and genres while honoring the simplicity and energy of the music from both of their traditions. Interesting to note, Hamsa is a completely crowdfunded album that raised over $4,000 in just 2 days. Rohith is tuning in from California and Layth from Spain, so we welcome all of their friends, family, and fans in all parts of the globe who are watching this. Please share this video and invite your friends to join us for this concert. Feel free to leave your comments and questions down below and let us know where you are tuning in from. I'd like to now welcome Rohith and Layth.
என்னை கொல்லும் ஒளிய என்னை கொல்லும் நிலவு ஒளிய என்னை கொல்லும் நிலவொளிய உள்முகத்தின் பேரழகா என்னை கொல்லும் நீலவொளியா உள்முகத்தின் பேரழகா என் காதல் அங்கே என் காதலின் உருவம் அங்கு தெரிகிறதே நதியே என் நிலையை சொல் திருமனதினை சேர்த்து விடு நதியே என் நிலையை சொல் இருமனதினை சேர்த்து விடு என் காதல் அங்கே என் காதலின் உருவம் அங்கு தெரிகிறதே முகங்கள் பல பார்த்த பின் உன் முகமே நிலைத்திருக்கும் முகங்கள் பல பார்த்த பின்னும் உன் முகமே நிலைத்திருக்கும் என் காதல் அங்கு என் காதலின் உருவம் அங்கு தெரிகிறதே
Hey, how's it
Good
going?
morning.
Morning.
So,
That,
what
how
a
are
great
you?
start to have
I
Folk, our
know.
favorite tune.
That's always the joke, which is like, oh, every song you make is so precious and so dear, and you love all of them equally. But some songs just, I don't know, they grip you.
Yeah, I think there's some power in a really well-written melody. I think so. This is the
Yeah.
idea.
Would you like to actually talk a little bit about the song, maybe? And
Sure. So this song
yeah.
is called Folk Il Nakhal. It's an old Iraqi song, and I thought that it would be a great one that we've played it before in different formats, in a major key and a minor key, and we thought it'd be important to put that as part of the album. And we just want to mention the fantastic musicians who played with us on the album, and we used the backing tracks, for this concert as well. Tariq Rantisi from Palestine, Giri Subramaniam, and Shub Saran from India. So thank you to them for being part of this journey with us. And as you heard, there was also a background choir with us. So it really was a song that brought the community together for us, where we really created this album together. So that's why
Yeah.
it's one of the most profound songs for us in the album.
I mean, I remember that was such a special time because we had started so early in the morning, recorded the whole album in just one day, and then right in the middle of the day, all our friends just came by to the studio. We taught them this melody, and it was
Yeah.
it was just fun. And the song feels like that kind of song you sing with your friends and all that. So it was what a time, good
Yeah.
times.
Anyway, so we'd love to hear what's happening next, Rohit.
Yeah, Layth and I do so many of these interesting shows, and some together, some on our own, and we were brought together by shared love of music from each of our traditions, and we thought it would be nice to actually share some music, sort of from both of those worlds. And so I wanted to share a Carnatic piece with you all, South Indian classical music. It's in the language Telugu, and this language is sort of one of the, and I would call it like one of the most important languages in the tradition of Carnatic music. And the composer of this piece is one of the most prolific composers in the tradition as well. And it's a song that can, I guess, be sung in a couple different tempos, but I was really wanting to share something from a different perspective that was a little more, maybe meditative. And so this is a composition called Ni Dayache, in the raga or mode or scale called Yadukula Kambodi. So I hope you all enjoy this traditional Carnatic piece. Ni Dayache Ramani 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 Tyanandu Daitini Dayache Ramani Tyanandu Daitini Dayache Rama Nada Brahmananda Rasa Nada Brahmananda
ರಸ ನಾದ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾನಂದ ರಸ ನಾದ ಆನಂದ ರಸ ನಾದ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾನಂದ ರಸ ನಾದ ಆನಂದ ರಸ ಕೃತಿಗಲನಿ ದಯ ಚೇ ರಾಮನಿ ದಯ ಚೇ ವರ ಮೃದು ಭಾಷ ಸುಸ್ವರಮಯ ಭೂಷ 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 ವರ ತ್ಯಾಗ ರಾಜ ವಾಕ್ಚೇಲ ವೃತವರ ತ್ಯಾಗ ರಾಜ ವಾಕ್ಚೇಲ ವೃತವರ ತ್ಯಾಗ ರಾಜ ವಾಕ್ಚೇಲ ವೃತನಿ ದಯ ಚೇಯ ರಾಮನಿತ್ಯ ಆನಂದುಡೈತಿನಿ ದಯ ಚೇಯ ರಾಮನಿ 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 ದಯ ಚೇಯ ರಾಮ
Wow,
Thank
Rohit, really, really special. It's been a while since we have been in the same room, and to hear you singing, like this, just kind of brings back the feelings of. And I wish we could, get back to playing together soon. I know many artists feel the same way, and I wanted to mention that one of the main reasons, or the many reasons, that makes this project worthwhile is that there's such a commonality between our musics. the usage of the raga, of the maqam in Arabic music, the improvisational aspect of it, the spirituality, the motivic development, the melodies. I think so. This is something that I think we both latched onto, and I heard it now, in this performance. Even though you're singing just by yourself, but it almost felt like there was an orchestra or a symphony being performed. So this is the why I feel the roots of our music are so strong, and because we're stemming out of that, and there's just a whole different way of playing when it comes to the usage of the maqamat and the raga, and I think it makes this album special in many ways.
Yeah. I mean, it's really like, the ingredients all exist, or however you want to think about it. And it's like we all have the same tools, and we just, I don't know, the traditions are so exactly like you said, the components are all there, that spirituality and all of that. And then you just end up in, they're like right next to each other, these spaces,
Yeah,
and you just have to draw a little line.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Would you like to maybe share some music?
Sure, of course. I also wanted to we wanted to give a big thank you to District of Raga for hosting us today, to the Kennedy Center as well for the opportunity. At these times for artists, it's hard to be on stage, but glad to have these platforms to share the art and to also get to know more about the audience. So please feel free to, to write your questions, your comments in the comment section. We'll have a chance to answer some of them maybe in the middle of the show. And thank you to Nishta as well and all the team for making it happen. We really appreciate it. So the next piece is going to be a solo violin piece. It's a song composed by Zaki Nassif, a very important composer from the tradition of Arabic music. The song is called Ya Ashiqat al-Wardi, the kind of the person who loves flowers. And it's a very simple melody, but very profound. And one of the melodies I grew up with. And oftentimes when you play an instrument, just like the violin, and you want to do a rendition of a song, it's very difficult because the poetry is really important. So in many ways, that's one of the challenges of how to really portray the full meaning of a song without using the words. And I think this is a challenge all instrumentalists face when in this type of music, and I wanted to give it a go. So here's an improvisation at the beginning, which goes right into the melody of the song, Ya Ashiqat al-Wardi. I hope you enjoy it.
God. I just feel like I don't want to talk. Just sit there in silence. That was beautiful. Oh.
Yeah, sometimes when you, and I think you feel this sometimes when you're performing, is that you stop thinking about stuff and you just let things flow. And I think this was when I recorded this, I remembered that I kind of went into that mode. It was kind of that flow, which the word we use in Arabic music is tarab. Tarab. It's this musical ecstasy feeling you feel. Is there something similar in Carnatic music that you, like a word that you use where you enter this state?
Huh. I'm sure there is. I'm sure my my mom will be happy to toss it in the in the comments. But there is a term that, at least for me, I always sort of recontextualize for myself, which is bhavam, which, you know, at least when you're young, you see it in the space of, you know, my camera turned off.
I have your VCR kind of.
Yeah, I have the multicolored spectrum that is me.
So, excuse me, Bhavam? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, bhavam.
Bhavam.
Yes, which is I'm back, which is which is a term that's used to sort of talk about spirituality, and often used in the context of almost the religious devotion aspect of it, given that the tradition is, you know, has a big religious aspect to it. It's closely tied to Hinduism. But for me, I've always drawn inspiration from melody, and I'll get lost in melodies exactly like you described. Actually, I don't know if you've seen the movie Soul. It
Yes.
just came out on Disney Plus, for those
recently.
that are, you know, now losing our our theater going experience. But there's this place that they describe in the film where they go to called the Zone.
Right, yeah.
And you basically enter an entirely different space that's not in the world, and they really depict it as this space between Earth and some spiritual place. And I feel like that's exactly what it is. And then you open your eyes after, it could be 10 seconds or it could be an hour. You don't know. And sometimes you're like, what happened? I don't even remember what I sang or played, or, you know, and it's this really, yeah, it's unlike most experiences, at least for me. And it's hard to get that when you're sitting, you know, in your room, or you're sitting in your house and you can't be with other people in a space, and, you know, turn all the lights off and have, like, you know, vibey lights and all that. But we luck out.
I love how this thing has to always be something that works used with something else. So it has to be a duality of some sort. So for me, it's with the violin. For you, it's with the voice, or with the lights you mentioned, or maybe some kind of smell, a sensory thing. It's not just, I think, one thing, which I think brings together how the diversity or a community kind of feeling of a combination of things bring this feeling together. And I think that's the special thing about it, is that it needs something else and need to grow and prosper. So I think it's a cool theme, I think, to also bring into Hamsa and the work of this album.
Yeah. Actually, if anybody has any questions about Hamsa or anything else, please feel free to throw it in the comments. Maybe now is a good time for us to answer some questions. But along the lines you brought up, Hamsa, I was just thinking back to the last two tracks on the album, which I still hear as sort of one big track, is a short improvisation that I do, followed by a piece called Gaudi, and then an improvisation by Layth. And I remember that, it was, we all sort of cleared that space. We left, I think you were alone in that live room, and then I was also alone in the live room for that piece. And, we had all the lights off, and it was like pin drop silence. I'm sure it was the same when I was recording, but when you were playing your solo, no one was making a sound in the control room. And we could have if we wanted, but it was just, I think we all went with one another to whatever that space was.
And there's a really cool topic about this also, is that they looked at musicians, at jazz musicians. For example, let's look at Miles Davis and John Coltrane. That when they improvise, Miles Davis had his eyes open, looking at somewhere in the room, and John Coltrane would have his eyes closed, probably looking inward. So is that something where they say, like, do you get your expression, or do you get that the inspiration from looking at something, looking outward, or do you get it from looking inwards? I think that's something that I had to also look at myself. Yeah, I close my eyes often when I play, so maybe it's coming from somewhere inward, but other people like to have it open. So it's a discussion, I think, that is very interesting when it comes to improvising or composing and so on.
That is quite cool. Yeah, that's very cool. I tend to be an eyes closed person as well. Although I think it depends on the song. Like we're going to share a song a little bit later, and in a piece like that, like Fawanis, I'm looking around at everybody, and I want to see like little expressions on people's faces, or try to catch little things, and then but I'm generally definitely an eyes closed person.
There's a vulnerability in it, I feel, when you're on stage, and there's a chance when you're improvising, you're getting something so vulnerable from inside, so you feel a bit shy, I think, about it. So that's why the eyes closed. I'm not sure, and sometimes I try to force myself to keep my eyes open. It just doesn't happen. It controls me. My eyes control me. So it's just a discussion. So we can still have a chance for questions later on.
I think there's a couple. I saw one on the there's someone commented on the Kennedy Center live stream that they also close their eyes when they play.
Cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Even a few months ago, some other musicians were sharing that they really like to go inwards when they do that. Someone asked Johanna, how important is rhythm in a solo performance? You both seem to have an internal sense of where to stretch and where to keep a pulse. Interesting.
It's a really great question, because oftentimes, especially when we think about Arabic music, which is where I come from, the tradition of music, is that you hear compositions, you hear people performance, and you think that it's completely free. If you do something like it sounds rubato free, but there's an inner pulse there that is unmeasurable in many ways. It's something that is kind of felt. It could be a stretched pulse, but a pulse nonetheless. So there's moments of stress. And this comes from the repertoire, from the songs, how the maqam, in this case, the modal framework, the melodic framework, is developed. So you might hear often when we improvise, it's rubato, but there's definitely something kind of clicking inside.
Yeah. The great Indian classical percussionist Ustad Zakir Hussain mentioned this once in a master class, I think, of sometimes he doesn't like to play with a metronome even when you're in a studio setting, because the fluctuation of tempo is part of what is making music as a living, breathing being. You will speed up, you will slow down, you will stretch a single beat, even. And it's harder almost to, especially in these traditions, to be sort of in time with a metronome, like exactly what you described. There's so many, certain gamakas or ornamentations that we do in Carnatic music where you just push it a little bit, and it's not even you're sitting back in the beat. The beat is literally probably longer than it should be, if you were looking at it on paper or in a session.
Right.
Like ni dayeche rama, just the way you push that rama ni, and it's all about like tension release, and it's a little bit of what you feel inside. Maybe the composer intended something different, but you bring your own sort of push and pull to everything. And yeah, but it's interesting because I know both our traditions have very strong rhythms in them. Like rhythm is a huge part, and they're so developed in both our traditions too. So it's interesting to see how it's thought of in a kind of fluid way for both of us. That's cool. Yep, there you go. Someone else said it happens when you're in the zone.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any more questions. Otherwise, we can get back to playing some music. We'll give it an extra second. But in the meantime, maybe I'll just mention what I'm going to share now, which is, it's interesting. So I come from a family, well, a Tamil family, which is, you know, one of the languages subcultures in South India. So I typically end up singing a lot of Tamil songs, be it, you know, maybe some popular songs or, you know, film songs or even classical pieces. And I sing a lot of songs in this language. So today I thought it would be nice to share a couple classical songs that weren't in that language. So earlier I shared a Telugu song, and now I'm going to share something in Kannada, which is actually another really important language in Carnatic music. And this is in one of my all-time favorite ragams or modes. And it's a composition of Purandara Dasa, who's another, you know, great sort of prolific composer in the tradition. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. There's many different versions of this song that exist, actually. So I hope you all enjoy this piece. And if there's any more questions, please feel free to throw them in. We'll try to get to them as we go.
Absolutely.
But for now, Pillangovia in the Raga Kapi.
ಪಿಳ್ಳಂಗೋವಿಯ ಚೆಲುವ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ಪಿಳ್ಳಂಗೋವಿಯ ಚೆಲುವ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ರಂಗನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ಪಿಳ್ಳಂಗೋವಿಯ ಚೆಲುವ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ರಂಗನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ಪಿಳ್ಳಂಗೋವಿಯ ಚೆಲುವ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ರಂಗನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ಪಿಳ್ಳಂಗೋವಿಯ ಚೆಲುವ ಚೆಲುವ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ರಂಗನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ರಂಗನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದರಲ್ಲಿ ತಾನಿಲ್ಲ 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 ದಿಲ್ಲವೆಂದು ಬಲ್ಲ ಜಾಣರು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದರಲ್ಲಿ ತಾನಿಲ್ಲ ದಿಲ್ಲವೆಂದು ಬಲ್ಲ ಜಾಣರು ಪಿಳ್ಳಂಗೋವಿಯ ಚೆಲುವ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರೇ ರಂಗನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ಈ ಚರಾಚರದೊಳಗೆ ಜನಗಳ ಆಚೆ ಈಚೆಯಲಿ ಚರಾಚರದೊಳಗೆ ಜನಗಳ ಆಚೆ ಈಚೆಯಲಿ ಕೇಚರೇಂದ್ರನ ಸುತನ ರಥದ ಚೌಕಪೀಠದಲ್ಲಿ ಚರಾಚರದೊಳಗೆ ಜನಗಳ ಆಚೆ ಈಚೆಯಲಿ ಕೇಚರೇಂದ್ರನ ಸುತನ ರಥದ ಚೌಕಪೀಠದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಚದೆ ಮಾಧವ ಎಂಬ ಭಕ್ತರ ವಾಚಕಂಕಣಲಿ ನಚದೆ ಮಾಧವ ಎಂಬ ಭಕ್ತರ ವಾಚಕಂಕಣಲಿ ವಿಚುಕೊಂಡದ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಲೋಚನಾಗ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಿಳ್ಳಂಗೋವಿಯ ಚೆಲುವ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿರೇರಿ ರಂಗನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿರೇರಿ ರಂಗನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ಪಿಳ್ಳಂಗೋವಿಯ ಚೆಲುವ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ರಂಗನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ ರಂಗನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ
Wow. I never heard you. Well, I heard you sing in Kannada when we were actually in Bangalore because we had to do
Yeah.
some songs in that language.
Yeah.
But how is it for you to learn songs in different languages than your own? Is it what kind of challenge does that, or is it not even a challenge? Maybe it's something that's nice to you when you sing it too.
Yeah, it's interesting that, most of the songs you learn sort of early on are actually not in Tamil, which is, different for different people. For me, it was interesting. I find that a lot of Indian Americans who come from, especially Tamil speaking families, actually struggle with the language. A lot of the consonant sounds, you'll know from hearing us sing Tamil songs, a lot of the consonant sounds can be challenging.
Yeah.
And it's not even the most challenging Indian language sort of by far. But yeah, it's it's a little rough going, I guess, when you're younger. But the payoff when you're older is that you're exposed to so many different languages. You learn songs in Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Sanskrit. Sometimes Marathi. There's even some Hindi songs. So you really get exposed to languages sort of across India. Songs in Malayalam, all of these things. So it's really nice to be able to hear similarities, shared words, shared phrases, even across languages. But yeah, this is a very very important language in the music, for sure.
Exactly. No, it sounded wonderful.
Yeah, maybe we can hear something from you, something that you wrote, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, so next we're going to do another composition of mine. This is called Unshakable Roots, and it's from my first album, Son of Tigris, which came out in 2016. This is the last piece on that album, and the album basically talks about the story of my story, being born in Baghdad in Iraq, and being raised all my life in Jordan. The story of leaving one's home and going somewhere else. So it has all these themes in it. And I wanted the last piece to be a celebration of the roots. Is that it's no matter what someone goes through in their life, hardships and so on, remembering where you're from and your roots, I think always gives some kind of purpose. And so it's a celebratory kind of piece, but it has also some modulations in the maqam, in the mode as well, that gives some darker tones as well here and there. So it's kind of using all these types of colors. And again, you'll hear some improvisation, some openly rhythmic things, but fast and slow. So I tried to put everything together in this performance for you all. And here is Unshakable Roots.
That was beautiful. It's one of my favorite pieces from Layth's album. We're just going to jump right into the next piece, which is I thought it would be interesting to share something a little less classical, a little less traditional. This is actually a piece that I had recorded earlier, but it hasn't been released, so I thought I could share it with you all today. It's a little medley I did earlier of some of my favorite songs, all sort of in the classical language, let's say, melodically, but presented in different styles. So a couple of them are from films, and then one of them is from a band, an indie band in India called Advaita, and with some of the best people that we know, I think. So this is a short medley of some more popular songs, and yeah, let's get right into it.
मन मंदिरा ते जाने मन मंदिरा ते जाने उजळून घे साधका मन मंदिरा ते जाने उजळून घे साधका संवेदना संवेदना संवादे सहवेदना सपदान मन मंदिरा ते जाने उजळून घे साधका मन मंदिरा ते जाने उजळून घे साधका मन मंदिरा मन मंदिरा मन मंदिरा அவ்வாறு நோக்கினால் எவ்வாறு நாடுவேன் கண்ணாடி முன்னின்று பார்த்து கொண்டேன் ஒன்றாகச் செய்திட 100 நாடகம் ஒத்திகைகள் செய்து எதிர்பார்த்திருந்தேன் எதிர்பாராமலே அவன் எதிர்பாராமலே என்னை பம்பரமாய் சுழட்டி விட்டு உலகுண்ட பெருவாயல் எந்தன் வாயோடு வாய்ப்பறித்தான் உன்னை காணாது நான் இன்று நான் இல்லையே விதையில்லாமல் வேறில்லையே உன்னை காணாது நான் இன்று நான் இல்லையே விதையில்லாமல் வேறில்லையே நிறம் காண்கின்றவான் கூட நிஜமல்ல இதம் சேர்க்கும் கரா கூட சுகமல்ல நீ இல்லாமல் நான் இல்லையே உன்னை காணாது நான் இன்று நான் இல்லையே விதையில்லாமல் வேறில்ல மாய திருடன் கண்ணா கண்ணா காம கலைஞன் கண்ணா கண்ணா மாய திருடன் கண்ணா கண்ணா காம கலைஞன் கண்ணா கண்ணா மாய திருடன் கண்ணா கண்ணா காம கலைஞன் கண்ணா கண்ணா दादुर मोर पपीहा बोले दादुर मोर पपीहा बोले दादुर मोर पपीहा बोले छम 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 के बिजूरी दादुर मोर पपीहा बोले छम के बिजू आवे सजन मोर मंदिरवा घेर घेर आए बदरिया कारी घेर घेर आए बदरिया कारी घर घर लाई लाई नर मतवारी घेर घेर आए बदरिया कारी घेर घेर आए बदरिया कारी घर घर लाई लाई नर मतवारी घेर घेर आए बदरिया कारी घेर घेर आए बदरिया कारी सनिता मबनी सरी नी ती ती सरी मम बरे चे चे मरी सरी म प प मरे म नी 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 सरी नी सनी नी सरी नी सनी नी सरी नी सद तनी मम मरे द सरी मम कमरी स तनी मम कमरी स मबनी सरी मबनी सरी मबनी स.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I remember this. We played these songs with the Berkeley Indian Ensemble. What a great, great experience. An amazing performance, right, as usual. So before we play the final tune, I'm going to be presenting something live because I think that even during these remote and virtual experiences, I still like to feel that I'm performing something live in the moment to get that feeling of creating something in the moment for you all. And I know this year has been very tough for many people, and we've lost many loved ones. I have lost many people close to me in my life this past year. So I wanted to present a short segment of an Iraqi song called Fraghum Bachani, which means their absence makes me weep. And it's a song that is based in Maqam Bayati, which is one of the most common maqamat in Arabic music that has a quarter tone, a microtone on the second degree. And the song is in a 6/4 beat rhythmic cycle. Ta ta ta. Ta. So here's a segment of it, Fraghum Bachani. وفراقهم بجاني كالماطلي بالظلال وفراقهم بجاني كالماطلي بالظلال بيك اشتراك دلالي يقلون حبي زعلان يا قهوتك عزاوي بيها المدلل زعلان لا 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 وفراقهم بتشاني جل طلي بالظلع وفراقهم بتشاني جل طلي بالظلع بيك اشتراك دلالي يقلون حبي زعلان يا قهوتك عزاوي بيها المدلل زعلان.
Beautiful. I'm so glad you sang.
Yes, I wanted to just share a little bit. Poetry and words are so important in both our musics, so there had to be
Yeah.
some representation of the Arabic language in this performance.
It's exactly how I felt when we did Hamsa, which is like Layth has to sing something.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, so nice. So nice.
Thank you, Rohit.
Well, I guess we're already we're already a little over, but I think we can share one more piece from the album, something together. Really want to thank everyone for either staying up late or waking up early or taking time out in the middle of your day to spend this hour with us. We shared some music that's really close to our hearts. Big thank you to District of Raga, the Kennedy Center, Nishtha, Avi, who I know is watching, and everyone who has tried to bring a sense of normalcy, and
Absolutely.
as live as community as we can feel during all of this time. It's all these moments are special. Hopefully we'll remember these for years to come, sitting in front of laptops and sharing music with one another from around the world. So we'll end with a piece Layth wrote called Fawanis, which is from the album and is another favorite of ours. And again, big thank you to Tariq, Shub, and Giri who played this music with us and really brought it to life. So thank you all
I want to
again.
mention
Oh
that
yeah,
I wrote this song on your swing in your porch, I think, or like outside in the garden. I was sitting in the morning during some other project we had going on, and that's when this music came to me. So it still was created not just for the album, but also at your home. So it's even more special.
Yeah, that swing is still there, waiting for a time where we can all reconvene and make some more music.
Thank you.
Awesome. So thank you all, and without further ado, Fawanis.
Tabada magari kaza saba tabada magari pagasa saba tabada magari kaza sari gari gama gama pa sapa gari saba tabada magari kaza saba tabada magari pagasa saba tabada magari kaza sari gari gama gama pa sapa gari ma bada sani da ba maga sari ga ma da ba ka ba ma ji ma ba da sari ga ba ni sa ba ma ga ba di ga sa da ba ma ji sa தீராத விளையாட்டு பிள்ளை தீராத விளையாட்டு பிள்ளை கண்ணன் தீராத விளையாட்டு பிள்ளை கண்ணன் தெருவிலே பெண்களுக்கோ ஓயாத தொல்லை தீராத விளையாட்டு பிள்ளை கண்ணன் தெருவிலே பெண்களுக்கு ஓயாத தொல்லை தீராத விளையாட்டு பிள்ளை கண்ணன் தெருவிலே பெண்களுக்கு ஓயாத தொல்லை தீராத விளையாட்டு பிள்ளை புல்லாங்குழல் கொண்டு வருவான் புல்லாங்குழல் கொண்டு வருவான் கண்ணன் புல்லாங்குழல் கொண்டு வருவான் அமுது பொங்கி தரும் புன்னர் கீதம் படிப்பான் புல்லாங்குழல் கொண்டு வருவான் அமுது பொங்கி தரும் புன்னர் கீதம் படிப்பான் கள்ளால் மயங்குவது போலே கள்ளால் மயங்குவது போலே அதனை கண்மூடி வாய் திறந்தே கேட்டிருப்போம் தீராத விளையாட்டு பிள்ளை விளையாட்டு பிள்ளை விளையாட்டு பிள்ளை சாப தபத மகரி கச சாப தபத மகரி பகச சாப தபத மகரி கச சரி கரி கம கம பச பகரி மாபத சனித பாமக சரி கம கமத பகரி கம ரி ரி கரி கம கமத மாபத சரி கபனி சபம பதி கச பம ரி கம ரி நி ச சரிக சரிக மாபத பமக சரிக 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 மாபத பமக மபத சரிக சரி சரிக சரிக மாபத பமக சரிக 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 மாபத பமக மபத சரிக திலிச గమరి గ గమ ప మ గమ పద ద ప మ ప మ గమ గరి గరి రి దని దని జ గమ పదని దని స గమరి జని రి ని స తని పద ని స త్రి స పదని దని జని ని జరి జ దని జరి ధని జ ధని పద మబ కమ పద ని జ గరి ని జ గరి గరి గమ బుమ గరి గమ బుద బుమ గమ బుమ గరి ధని జ గరి గ జరి ని జ ధని పద మబ గమ రి గ జరి గమ ధని జ మద పమ గరి పమ గరి సరి గ సరి గ మా పద పమ గ సరి గ సరి గ పద మద ని రి పద గరి సరి గ సరి గ మా పద పమ గ మ పద సరి గ సరి సరి గ సరి గ మా పద పమ గ సరి గ సరి గ సరి గ సరి గ మా పద పమ గ మ పద సరి గ సరి గపరి గపని పగరి ని ప
Well, thank you so much, Rohith and Layth. This was such a beautiful afternoon of uplifting music and evening and morning for everyone else joining around the globe. Thank you so much. We wish to have you in person. That was the plan for this year, last year actually, but hopefully we'll be able to have you in person at District of Raga and the Kennedy Center. We would love to see you guys. Thank you again so much. Everybody, please, if you feel moved, please donate to these artists directly. The information is on your screen. Please do follow their pages and you can stay in touch with them and find out about what they're doing next. And also please sign up for District of Raga's newsletter or follow us on all the socials as well. And we really would love to see everybody come back and join us again in the future. Thank you so much to the Kennedy Center to make these programs available and possible. We are just trying to do our best to keep music going during these times. And this is as good as it gets for now, but we are really hopeful to be in person again soon. And wishing everybody a wonderful Happy New Year as well, since this is our first broadcast of the year. And Rohith and Layth, anything else you would like to add? Again, lots of thanks. All the love was coming through for you guys in the comments. I was sitting here like watching all the comments, and it was just so moving. And your music is so appreciated. And thank you again.
We're just grateful everybody was here today to share this with us. Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. No, same thing. Feel very blessed to have this great community supporting our music and our art, and we hope to meet everyone in person.
Yeah.
And just a huge thanks to you, Nishta, and District Raga for this opportunity, this platform for us to be able to perform and share the music. So we very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you both. It was such a seamless combination. I wanted to ask actually you guys to share how you met, just a real brief story and how you came, how your music came to be with these diverging, not so diverging, but different genres of music actually.
I could start because I saw Layth and Layth didn't see me, because when I started at Berkeley, I was at my, I had my orientation week, and there's a concert because it was a music college, and the Indian ensemble played there. And I remember looking on stage and seeing this this guy playing violin with red hair, and I'm thinking that maybe he's this Irish guy playing violin, and that's so cool. And then a few weeks later, I managed to sneak my way into the ensemble, and I think it was probably within a couple of weeks. Shub, who played guitar on the album. Layth, myself, and another friend, Sashank, who helped me produce that medley track you heard. The four of us became this unit. And as the two non-Hindi speakers in the group, I think Layth and I formed a little bit of a solitary bond.
An alliance.
How long has it been?
Long time. 7 years? More.
2012 fall, I think it was.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So yeah, wow. Nearly 8.5-ish years.
Awesome. And Hamsa is available online to purchase, if we didn't mention that earlier. The links are on your pages, I believe. So please, everybody, go buy a copy of that album. Layth, anything to add?
No, I just want to say exactly what Rohith said. This was the way we met. And then I actually have to thank him and the other gentleman, Shashank and Shub, because this friendship made me fall in love more with Indian classical music and with the culture. And every time I visited after that, I felt such a deeper gravity and appreciation to the culture because of this friendship. So I think it opened up such a huge and beautiful world to me. So I feel very blessed for that.
Wonderful. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and end this. But thank you again to everybody who joined. This will be available for people to watch later. We have some upcoming events in February and March as well. So check back. We'll be posting that information soon. And we wish everybody a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And we'll see you in our next live stream. Thank you all again so much.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.